After we close that out, when we have public comments of other matters, that means you can bring anything to council at that time that you would like to bring in other matters. If there's a public hearing item, you will wait until you get to that item to comment on that item. Just like item 1, which is a public hearing, you will wait until I open up and read that item, then you comment on that. That's a public hearing. So at this time, the floor is open for public comments of agenda items.
Good evening. My name is Monica Williams, and I stand before you not only as a proud wife, mother, grandmother, daughter, and sister, and U.S. Army veteran, but a survivor of hate. On Thanksgiving Day 2023 in Conway, South Carolina, my family and I were the victims of a cross burning, an act meant to intimidate, instill fear, and to silence us. That hateful act cut deeply, not just into our hearts, but into the very soul of what community and belonging should mean. We are still healing. The scars are not just physical, they are emotional, carried by my family each day. It was painful, humiliating, and a reminder that hate is still alive in our communities. But let me be clear. That act of hate will not define us. Instead, it strengthens our resolve to stand up and speak out so that no family in South Carolina will ever have to endure what mine has endured. That is why the hate crime bill is so important. It is not just words on paper. It is a statement of values. It says to every person, your life matters, your dignity matters, and your right to live free from hate-fueled violence matters. Passing this bill into law will give South Carolina the tools not only to punish hate, but to also protect love, unity, and justice. I am so proud that Orangeburg County has taken a bold stance by passing its own ordinance against hate. This shows courage, compassion, and leadership. It shows that when others may hesitate, Orangeburg is willing to step forward and to say enough is enough. Hate has no home here. My family and I are deeply grateful for that. But our work is not finished. We will continue to fight, not with anger, but with determination. We will keep working with leaders, neighbors in every county in this state until the hate crime bill is passed into law. Because protecting our families, our children, and our future is not optional, it's a moral duty. I stand here today, yes, with pain, but also with hope. Hope that together we can create a South Carolina where diversity is celebrated, where justice is protected, and where hate has no place to take root. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, Chairman, to the members of the County Commission. My name is Sean Williams. I'm the husband of Monica Williams. And as you just heard, we were victims of a cross burning there in Conway, South Carolina. I grew up in Orangeburg. My dad was named Howard Williams. My mother's Barbara Williams. They're now deceased. And my brother, who was murdered right there on Myers Road back in 2020, we're still feeling the sting of it. But beyond that, I want to also let you know that my family and I are being victims of a hate crime. And like my wife said, the pain does not leave us quickly. It shakes your sense of safety, your trust in your neighbors, and even a belief in your community. But standing here today, I feel something a little different. I feel there is some hope. By passing this hate crime ordinance, you have made it clear that hate has no place. Not in our neighborhoods, not in our schools, not in our places of worship, not in our county, and not anywhere in this state of South Carolina. Your decision tells victims like me that we were seen, that our pain matters, and that we are not alone. It tells those who might spread hate that they will be held accountable. And it tells children that this county values dignity, respect, and justice above all else. So I want to thank you not only for the ordinance itself, but for the courage to lead where your state has not yet acted. You are showing that this county will not be silent in the face of hate, but will stand firm with what is right. As someone who has lived through this, the damage hate can cause, I can tell you that this ordinance is more than words on paper. It is a promise that no matter who you are, what you look like, or what faith you practice, this county, Orangeburg County, is our home, and we are protected as we live here. So I thank you for taking this time to make that promise real. I yield.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Williams.
Hello, my name is Maggie Griffin, and I'm here tonight to ask council to deny the request for zoning change to a parcel of land that's located on Highway 301, which is very near the intersection of Highway 15 and 301. They want to change it from residential to industrial for the purpose of building a cement plant. And I want to make it clear, I'm not against the plant. I'm against the location. And the reason is the particulate matter, the dust from a concrete plant. It can travel 5 miles, as far as 20 miles. And that 5-mile area is, quote, a danger zone, unquote. I've read that the pollutants also stay in the air for days and sometimes weeks. There are 3 primary pollutants: sulfur dioxide, which is a colorless gas with a strong smell; nitrogen oxide, which is an acidic and highly corrosive gas and contributes to the formation of acid rain; and the last is carbon monoxide, which we all know is a colorless, poisonous gas to humans and to animals. These pollutants can create respiratory issues, lung diseases, asthma, bronchitis, and make cardiovascular conditions much worse. Now, on the fact sheet that we got here from South Carolina Department of Environmental Services, it shows that they are working, but all they can do is help to limit the emissions. They cannot stop the emissions. And I have also read from the United States Environmental Protection Agency, and I read it, quote, "The cement sector is the 3rd largest industrial source of pollution." The 3rd largest source. So knowing all this, I went to the GIS map of Orangeburg County. The town, that parcel of land to the borders edge of Lake Marion is 3.5 miles. That means the entire town of Santee could be in a danger zone. I also found by looking at that map that there's probably around 30 to 40 homes that are within 3,000 linear feet. So I'm requesting that the county deny the request to change the zoning to industrial, and in doing so, protect the people and their homes and the town of Santee. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Mr. Chairman, before we go to the next speaker, we do have public hearings set aside for waste tires and for the hate intimidation ordinance, as opposed to doing it during agenda item.
Yeah, I explained that at the beginning, but after they started on the other one, but
I didn't want to interrupt anybody when they were speaking.
Right. But for anybody else coming up for that, make sure that you wait until you get to that item, just like a public hearing on that, on item 1 and 2. If you want to speak on either one of those, wait until we open the floor for that. Okay? Any other agenda item somebody want to comment on?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, council members. My name is Russ Touchberry, and I'm from Summerville, South Carolina, but I'm here on behalf of the Knights Company, speaking on item 9 on the agenda. Before you, I put a presentation to kind of help articulate what we are doing and what we hope to do as a part of this investment in Orangeburg. And we're really excited about the opportunity to be a partner here with you. We are a family-owned business that's been serving communities for over 55 years. We do produce concrete. In your presentation on page 3, you'll see that there are differences between a cement plant, which you'll see in the Holly Hill area, versus a concrete batch plant where we just mix ingredients together into a concrete mixer truck, add water, and send that out to serve communities, whether it's someone's driveway or house foundation, sidewalk, or also an industrial park, which is why we identified this site, and we're very interested in being here because we know that y'all are encouraging industrial growth in this area. And concrete has a time limit on how long it is good, because once the water mixes in, the chemical reaction starts to happen in the truck. And so it's time to get delivered and on site. So not a cement plant, but a concrete plant. Previous comment talked about the cement dust. If you go to page 4, you'll see several aspects of what a concrete plant has. The silo, similar to like a grain silo or corn silo, is there just to hold the material. But if you look at item F, there's a dust shroud and a dust collector system that is on this. The Department of Environmental Services regulates these types of uses, and we are subject to their air quality permits and all of the testing that is required to meet their permitting requirements, as well as being accessible for them. These sites are throughout the state of South Carolina, and we have not, we have not seen anywhere where we have adversely impacted communities. We've seen ourselves as partners and come alongside, provide high-paying jobs, and really enjoy being a part of the fabric of this community. We would ask for first reading so that future questions can be answered. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Russ. Anyone else with public comments on agenda items?
Hi, my name is Harvey Elwood. I'm at 1408 Russell Street. I'm speaking on behalf of my organization, New Perspectives Media, which is a nonprofit organization. I just want to ask of new businesses that come into this area, given what's going on from a federal level all the way down, businesses and funds are being cut from nonprofit organizations. For those businesses such as the one you're proposing, is there a record of your involvement as a business throughout the other areas that you work in? Anybody who wants to come here, what are your contributions to the non-profit, non-commercial sector, if any? I think that that would be an encouragement for the council members to make recommendations, that we see that you have a demonstrated involvement and community involvement, not just saying we're creating jobs, which is good, but at this time, from the federal government on down, we need to see businesses coming in which are contributing to the nonprofit sector. This is highly important because then we know you have a commitment not only to your business, but to the community that you want to serve in. That's all. Thank you very much. And I just hope that the council members will also ask those questions as well. Do businesses that want to come here in Orangeburg County, do you have a commitment not just to your business, but do you have an input with the school system, medical, all the other things that we depend on as a county? Other than the tax dollars that they will bring here, will they be making some nonprofit contribution to those businesses? If that makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey.
Good evening, Council. My name is Robert Zangara, and I live in the town limits of Santee. And I believe the planning board made a mistake by referring this zone change to council. I'm not against concrete plants. I'm not against concrete. I worked in that business the early part of my life for a good number of years. All I'm saying is take it to a place where it's best fit and it's not going to impact people's health or their quality of life or the growth potential that Santee has. This will stunt the growth of Santee. It's too close to schools. We got Lake Marion High School, and I read the same report that one of the other speakers had, that this type of facility can impact the community from 3 to 5 miles and sometimes inside 20 miles. It's too close to schools, it's too close to elder communities, there's churches, there's restaurants, hopefully, potential. That's an excellent piece of property for the growth of Santee. Some of it in Santee, some of it not in that intersection. But that is an important intersection to the town of Santee. And there are better, more efficient uses for that property than a cement plant. Again, safe distance to live from a cement plant is generally considered to be 3 to 5 miles. The whole town of Santee is in that. I don't have to speak to the airborne dust issues. That was already addressed. I might also add that this application, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it had already been submitted to the town of Ravenel early this year and was turned down. Maybe we should ask them why before we vote on this. Anyway, I ask that you not consider this and that you reject the zone change. It doesn't belong in that location. I'm not against concrete, I'm not against concrete plants, cement plants, I'm sorry. But it does not belong at that intersection. There are much better uses. One of the important tenets of planning is for the best and highest use for a piece of property. That's not the best and highest use, not for the town of Santee or that surrounding community. That's an important intersection. There are industrial zones not too far away that are probably outside that 3 to 5 mile limit, which are much better suited. And we've got a big county here. There's a lot of other open space that's available for that cement plant. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Robert. Anyone else, agenda items? Not, we will close the agenda items comment and goes to the comment of other matters. Anyone has anything else they would like to bring before council at this time? Hearing none, we will close our public.
My name is Sid Goff. I've been up here before and addressing the same area with a different situation, different area, but the same area of the county. And I'd just like to make this comment ahead of time. A gentleman who's made the trip before from Santee and whatnot was on the phone with me this afternoon and said, you know, it would be great if some of the input that they make or can watch the meeting online and make comments. I don't know if you review them or not to see what the public is saying. They can't make it, or, you know, that's a long trip for Santee to come to Orangeburg for a short meeting. But anyhow, I want to address the casino once again. And I know you can't do it yourselves probably because of maybe a conflict of interest, but in May I rode over to Santee. And on the way over there I prayed, you know, that y'all don't have to make that decision and even vote on a casino, yes or no. Like this matter that's before you, you've got to vote yes or no, but that's not here yet. What you probably can't do is what I did a couple of Mondays ago. I rode to Santee again. And I said, I'm curious, how many hotel rooms are there in Santee now? Because there's a proposed 500 more coming in this casino thing. And I went by different motels and asked. I only was able to speak to 2 managers. There's only one hotel on the 301, old 301 15 strip going into Santee that I did not visit. I got a total of just over 1,000 rooms, 1,042 rooms based upon the numbers that I was given by the staff and the managers. Various comments, come what may, not positive about it. too young to gamble. 19 years old, she drives an hour from Clarendon County to work in Orangeburg County. A lot of folks were part-time employees behind the desk and whatnot, so they did say, if it comes, I'll apply, because they're looking to better their lives. So even if one comes, there's going to be a transfer of people who are trained, who want to do better, moving there, and you're not going to really effectively hit the unemployment except people moving into part-time jobs, maybe, at the lowest level. Manager wasn't in, owner not in, no opinion, not in favor. Thought the bill was dead. It's just tabled, as we know, until January 13th. But I would hope that you consider what will happen. Because if something that large comes in, somebody's going to close and there's going to be another vacant building in Santee or the Santee area that someone will have to get on them about tearing down or maintaining. It'll be a reality that you'll have to deal with. Thank you very much.
Mr. Sick?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jasmine Owens, and I'm the founder of GEMS, which is Girls Entrepreneurship and Mentoring Society. GEMS was created 2 years ago to empower teen girls in our community through mentorship, leadership development, and career exploration. While there are several programs available for young boys in the area, there are far fewer resources for women in the area to grow into confident leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals. GEMS was created to fill that gap. This past summer, we successfully completed another group of the GEMS Summer Experience, where local teen girls were able to engage in workshops, mentorship, and hands-on learning experiences that built their confidence and introduced them to career pathways. The feedback from both the girls and their families has been overwhelming, and it has shown us that this work cannot just stop at one season. That's why I'm here today to request funding support from County Council to help us extend GEMS beyond the summer and throughout the year. With your financial support, we can expand our outreach, provide year-round mentorship, and ensure that the young ladies in Orangeburg County have access to the same levels of support and guidance that many young men already receive. Your investment would directly impact the lives of local girls, giving them the skills, confidence, and opportunities to thrive, not only as future professionals, but also as empowered members of the community. I am a part of the next generation to get this done, to be a guiding light for our future leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Owens. Pass that information on to staff.
Good afternoon, or good evening. To the chairperson and to the members. My name is Joyce Jenkins, and I'm one of the co-founders of GDP Angels. We're a travel softball team. I have some of my girls here with me tonight. Will y'all please stand? So we're a nonprofit organization, and we're just coming to you today to ask for your assistance in any way, shape, or form, whether it be physical, monetary, or mentoring. Our girls come from all over the community, from different ages, from 5 to 16, and we just saw a need where the girls' sports were declining in Orangeburg. Like the young lady said, it's all about the boys, but we're advocate for girls. So we want to build girls' sports, so with your help and with the community help, we can build it, so we see a need for it. But it's not all about softball. It's about giving the girls the social skills and all the other skills, life skills that they need to get by in life. But like I said, we're a nonprofit organization, so anything that we can receive from the county, any type of funding that can help us with these girls, we would greatly appreciate it. A lot of them, not all, but some, come from underprivileged homes where the parents can't afford to invest in them like other parents can. So we seek your assistance on that. And so if y'all can help us in any form or fashion, or any way y'all can direct us, even if coming out physically and supporting the girls, because they did a great job this year. We won, actually, when we really normally didn't win, because we go off and we see other teams, the skill set of those other teams where parents has invested. So we need that here. These girls go out and represent Orangeburg County through the Parks and Rec, but that's just every year. We want it to be year round so that we can assist them and develop and help them grow. So any assistance that you could give us would be greatly appreciated. Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you, Ms. Jenkins. Pass your information on to the clerk so we know what you're all about and all that. Okay. Anyone else? If not, we will close our public comment portion of our meeting, and we will go into our regular meeting. And the first item on the agenda is an ordinance authorizing an amendment of Chapter 13, Article 2 of the Orangeburg County Code of Ordinance titled Orangeburg County Waste Tire Policy to align same with 2025 amendment of South Carolina Code Section 44-96-170E and F relating to waste tires. And I will yield to the county attorney to give you a summary of what this is all about.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And of course, after I'm speaking, anybody who wishes to speak on it, it is a public hearing. This past summer, the legislature passed an amendment to South Carolina Code Sections 44-96-170E and F, which really relate to the fee schedule for tipping fees for waste tires being disposed of locally. And when we first got that information, the county wanted to get on that because what the statute allowed in terms of charging to have those hauled off, we were being charged way in excess of that amount. And so hearing that the legislature had actually given us a little room to move up that fee, that was something that we were interested in doing. And I believe the county is still interested in doing that, but for right now, what we've done is we have reviewed the waste tire policy and come to the conclusion that the first change that we want to make before we go any further is to change the waste tire policy where it currently says that residents may bring waste tires up to 15 to convenience sites in Orangeburg County, and change that to all of the tires have to be brought to the landfill. And the reason for that is because there is no one at the convenience sites to monitor folks who are bringing in the tires, and there is an ability to monitor at the landfill. And some of the statistics that we got, 10, I can't remember what the name of the vehicle is, but large containers that you put tires in, they have had 10 of those that have been filled up from just the Glover Street site. Also 10 from North, and also I believe 10 from Bowman. And that doesn't line up with individuals bringing in a tire or two to the convenience site. So that is the number one change. And then the other change that we are contemplating is where new tire retailers and auto dismantlers will be bringing their tires. We understand that there is a company that is opening a facility where they could actually process those tires nearby, such that we would not have to accept them at the landfill anymore. They could go straight to the processor. And at this time, those are the only amendments we have planned, and those will let us assess the situation before we increase any fees for taking waste tires out of the site.
Thank you so much, Madam Attorney. At this time, it's open. If anyone has any public hearing, if someone has comments or anything on that item that has just been summarized by the attorney, they may approach the podium and say so at this time. Hearing none, we will go to item 2. Thank you, Madam Chair. We go to item 2, which is third reading and a public hearing also. So for it says, an ordinance amending the Orangeburg County Code of Ordinance, Chapter 24, offenses and miscellaneous provision to add a new section, which is Section 4, hate intimidation, to establish the offense and to provide a penalty for violations. So at this time, basically, it has been summarized. If you want to further summarize that, Madam Attorney, you can, and then we will open the floor for public hearing.
I would defer summarizing that to the council member who is backing it, which is Council Member Walker.
The hate ordinance was derived to protect all people. Some people have the misconception that it's for one group or one socioeconomic class, but it's for all people. We have all races who experience hate. We have all genders who sometimes experience hate. So we want Orangeburg County to know that as we sit here as your council members, we represent everyone, not one individual group. And that's why this ordinance was established for everyone in Orangeburg County.
Thank you so much, Ms. Walker. So at this time, do anyone have anything public? This is public hearing. You have anything you would like to say?
Now's my turn, Mr. Chairman. Sorry about that.
Yes, sir, Mr. Phillip.
I swear I got 2 ears.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just don't listen as well as they used to.
I hear you, Phil.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of council. I'm Phil Ford. I appreciate being able to join you again as I came here last month. But I come before you tonight as an Orangeburg native, Orangeburg son, LGBTQ+ advocate with the Alliance for Full Acceptance, and with deep gratitude that this council has taken this ordinance to a final reading. That in itself sends a message to the people of Orangeburg that you are listening and that you are willing to act. But I also come with a request. We're living in a troubling time, one where marginalized communities are too often singled out, targeted, and told they don't belong. For Black residents, for LGBTQ+ people, for immigrants, for people with disabilities, fear of intimidation and hate is not abstract. It's a daily reality. As someone who grew up right here, I can tell you that being targeted for who you are is not just hurtful, it is dehumanizing. It chips away at the basic sense of safety every person deserves to feel in their hometown. This ordinance is not just about punishment, it's about people. It's about the young people who feel unsafe walking home from school. It's about the family threatened because of their faith or their race. It's about the neighbor who has been made to feel small, but who deserves to live with dignity and peace. Orangeburg County has a history shaped by both struggle and resilience. Tonight, you have the opportunity to affirm that history by choosing compassion, courage, and unity. Passing this ordinance says that in times when hate tries to divide us, we will choose instead to protect one another, especially those who are most vulnerable. As a victim of a recent hate crime, I request that you vote yes tonight. Not just to make law, but to make a statement about the kind of community that Orangeburg is and the kind of future that we are building. Thank you so much.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of County Council. Thank you so much for giving me a few moments to speak tonight. I'm Senator Tamika Isaac Devine. I represent Senate District 19 in Richland County. And prior to my service on the Senate, I actually was a member of Columbia City Council when we enacted an ordinance in Columbia. Shortly after we enacted the ordinance in Columbia, there was someone charged with the ordinance. Richland County recently passed it, and shortly after they passed it, someone was charged with this crime. So this is to tell you that these things are happening in our communities every single day. But right now, law enforcement is handicapped to really, truly enforce crimes that are precipitated by hate because there is no state bill. Unfortunately, the state has failed in this. The House has passed this bill several times, but unfortunately, the state Senate has not yet passed it. And a lot of people say, well, if the state doesn't pass it, then we shouldn't as a county. But I will tell you that I'm reminded many, many years ago when I was a young student when our state did not have a Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. But cities, towns, and counties throughout this state actually were the leaders. They made sure that not only was it passed as a holiday, but they were recognizing it. And then very shortly after that, the state followed the lead. I'm here today to tell you as a state senator that we need local officials to lead because our state is not leading on this issue. We know that we have citizens every single day that are targeted because of hate, but our state has failed to protect our citizens. And so right now, I'm asking you all, I'm so happy that you have passed this on 2 readings and would be happy to see you pass it tonight and continue to be a leader in this state. Orangeburg has led on lots of things and we're looking forward to you leading again. And then I will tell you that I'm sure that the state will soon come along. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Senator Devine.
Good evening. First, I want to bring greetings to the chair as well as to the other council members. I am Councilwoman Tyra Little of Richland County, District 3. I want to commend you all on having the courage to stand up and to come alongside your fellow county partners in Richland County. We passed the ordinance on June 3rd, and after that, we had a young man who decided that he was going to shoot at someone to bring intimidation because of the color of his skin. In sitting at a press conference with the sheriff and actually watching this, all I could think of was the conversation that I had with my father years ago when he spoke about in the 1950s, being a child, walking to school, and having people shoot at them because of the color of their skin and how they used to have to run and dodge in ditches. We are in 2025. This House has passed the bill twice, and it was stalled in the Senate. And my heart goes out because right in the chambers where you have the picture of a sitting senator who was murdered because of hate, you have a chamber that not all agree, but they're unable to pass this. And so as being those local leaders, I feel that it is up to us to do what we can to protect the citizens and the residents of South Carolina. Full justice should not be predicated upon where you live. It should be provided to each citizen of the state of South Carolina. So I thank you for what you all have done, and I hope that we will be able to rejoice in your 3rd reading on tonight. Thank you for your time.
Councilwoman Harris.
Good evening again. My name is Harvey Elwood, but I'm not speaking on behalf of myself. I'm speaking on behalf of Representative Wendell Gillard, who represents the 111th County Council, State House District 111. He submitted a letter, and he's addressing this to the County Council of Orangeburg. Subject, Orangeburg County Hate Crimes Ordinance. State Representative Wendell G. Gillard is urging Orangeburg County Council to support the Hate Crimes Ordinance and to vote to pass the ordinance tonight at the 3rd reading during their county council meeting. Richland County, the city of Georgetown, and other municipalities have passed hate crimes ordinances, and upon approval of the ordinances tonight, Orangeburg County will be among those municipalities in the state of South Carolina having a hate crime ordinance. Hopefully, in the near future, Charleston County Council will pass a hate crimes ordinance for Charleston County in which Representative Gilda Cobb Hunter, Representative Jerry Govan, and other members of the legislature will be their undying support and diligently working to support discussions to do the same. By your actions tonight, come January, it would inspire the legislature to approve House Bill 3039, known as the Senator Clemente C. Pinckney Hate Crimes Act. Representative Wendell Gillard, South Carolina House of Representatives, District 111, Charleston County. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Okay, anyone else?
Good evening, Monica Williams again on behalf of my husband and myself. I just wanted to say that how important this is, and don't let this stop here in Orangeburg. Continue to get this passed at the state level. One thing that Abby Miller would say on Dance Moms, if you've ever watched that crazy show, she hated when her girls lost. She hated it. One thing she would always say is, coming in second is the first to lose. And Wyoming is the other state that does not have a hate crime law in effect. So I don't want Orangeburg to be the first to lose if Wyoming beats you to the finish line. And it's just not good for this state. I'm a veteran. I did my training at Fort Jackson, did a lot of training there on and off through my military career. My husband is also a veteran, and South Carolina holds a very special place for us. What happened to us will, like I said before, will not define us, but I need everyone in here to realize the importance of educating the children that are here. I do the math. I'm now 60 years old, so in about 30, 35 years, I won't be here anymore. So what we do in here is about these kids. We're leaving this behind. I tell my students all the time that when archaeologists go into the forest and they see footprints, it tells a story. It's like, how did that footprint get here, and what have I learned from gathering that footprint and looking at it? We're leaving footprints here. And these kids are going to go through history books and find things, and they're going to be like, what is this about? I don't want my footprint to, have me look at myself as a bad teacher or mother, grandmother, or someone who did not do well for the community. So I say all that to say, don't let it stop here in Orangeburg. Orangeburg has so much potential to grow, develop, be this great city in the South. And I'm just tired of some of the things that I see here. And not just here, we live in Charlotte now. We're retiring in Conway for our retirement home. That's where the cross burning took place. So we're ready to come out of the school system and enjoy our lives, but we will not stop fighting for South Carolina, your sister state of North Carolina. And we are going to continue to fight this thing. But think about these kids and what it means to them. We've got to leave a more positive footprint to get this bill over the finish line. I dedicate this whole thing to those victims of the Emmanuel 9 that lost their lives innocently in their church during prayer meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Any other comments? Thank you so much.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to say something, but this is
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
about the two persons who just came up, and Mr. and Ms. Williams. I have to say this, I can't let it go without saying something. I worked with your father, Howard. Mayor Hill, raise your hand. Mary Hill and I worked at Amble Industries with your mother, Barbara. And I was shocked when you said both of their names, so I had to say something about it. We worked with them, at least I did, for 7 years. Mary probably worked about 20, I don't know, because I left and went to Washington with the AFL-CIO organizing labor unions. But it's a pleasure meeting both of you. And thank you for coming to speak about this hate bill. Thank you.
Thank you. There are no other comments from any council persons. Could I get a motion second for third and final reading?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Garvin, second by Mr. McAllister for third and final reading on item 2. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Item number 3 is the third reading. And this is for the consideration of a request from Gary Shonite Jr. to rezone a 1.69 acre portion of property at 1982 Old Edistone Drive in Orangeburg. Tax map number 0152-00-00-008 from Forest Agriculture District to Commercial General District. That's District 6. Mr. Administrator, for the public, could you give a summary of that?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The Planning Commission met on June 11, 2025 to discuss the recommendations from Mr. Gary Shonite to rezone 1.69 acres portion of 1982 Old Edistone Drive. He's requesting to go from forest and agriculture to commercial general. The site is made up of a portion of the greater portion of a parcel that's 173 acres. The lot has access from Old Edistone Drive. The portion of the property to be rezoned does not fall within the flood zone. The adjacent property owners were notified via U.S. mail about a planning commission meeting. They were given the opportunity to submit comments electronically, by email, directly by phone, or in writing to the planning commission, or attend the meeting in person. The notice with information was submitted and published. There were 0 citizens that expressed their support. There were 0 citizens that expressed their opposition. Orangeburg County Planning Commission is, after public hearing and discussion, is making a recommendation to you for 5-0 approval.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Administrator. Council member, if you have any questions or comment at this time, please say so. If not, please give me a motion and a second for third and final reading on this.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt this.
Moved by Mr. Lois Frazier, District, and second by Mr. Ravenel, that we have third reading on the item that just was described. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Item number 4 is second reading, and this is said for the consideration of a request from Mr. Leroy Williams to rezone property at 4128 North Road in Orangeburg. Tax map number 0143-15-01-005 from Forest Agriculture District to Commercial General District. This is District 5. Mr. Administrator, please describe or summarize that for the public.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The Planning Commission met on July 9, 2025 to discuss those recommendations for 4128 North Road. This is being requested to change from forest and agriculture to commercial general for the purpose of auto sales business. Site is made up of one parcel that's 1.31 acres. Lot has access from North Road. Lot does not fall in the flood zone. Adjacent property owners were notified via U.S. mail about the Planning Commission meeting. They were given the opportunity to submit comments electronically, via email, directly, via phone, or in writing, or attend the meeting in person. The notice with the information was submitted. There were 0 citizens that expressed their support. There was 1 citizen that expressed their opposition. Planning Commission, after public hearing and discussion, makes a recommendation to you as council with a 6-0 approval.
Thank you so much, Mr. Administrator. Any questions from any council? Can I get a motion and a second? Can I get a motion and a second for a third?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Mr. McAllister and second by Mr. Walker. Second reading on item number 4. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Item number 5 is also second. And it is for the consideration of a request from Jackie Valentine Jr. to rezone property at 112 Fogay Lane in Orangeburg. Tax map number 0139-00-03-001 from residential single-family district to rural community district. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The Planning Commission met on July 9, 2025 to discuss those recommendations for 112 Fugaway Lane in Orangeburg from residential single-family district to residential community for the purpose of placing a mobile home on the property. Site is made up of one parcel of 0.71 acres. Lot has access from Fugaway Lane, and the lot does not fall within a floodplain. Property owners were notified about the meeting. They were given opportunities to submit comments electronically, via email, by phone, in writing, or in person. The notice of information was submitted. There were 0 citizens that expressed their support, 0 citizens that expressed their opposition. Planning Commission presents this to you with a public hearing and discussion and makes a 6-0 recommendation to approve this request.
Thank you, Mr. Administrator. This is also in District 6, so can I, no, there's no comment, could I get a motion in second reading?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Garvin and second by Mr. McAllister that we second reading on item 5. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Item number 6, also a second reading, it says for the consideration of a request from Dexter Latson to rezone property at Round Old Road in Utahville, South Carolina, which is in District 1, at tax map number 0358-19-01-001 from residential single-family district to residential general district. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The Planning Commission met on July 9, 2025 to discuss the recommendations from Dexter Latson. This is Round Road Road in Utahville, South Carolina. This is a request to go from single family to residential general for the purpose of setting up a mobile home. Site is made up of one parcel calculated at 2.07 acres. The lot has access from Round Old Road. The lot does not fall within the floodplain. The adjacent property owners were notified by mail about their meeting. They were given opportunities to make comments electronically, via email, by phone, in writing, or attend the meeting in person. Notice for the information was submitted. There was 1 citizen that expressed their support requested during the meeting, and 16 citizens who signed a petition in support. There were 0 citizens who requested opposition. Planning Commission presents this to you at the public hearing and discussion with a approval of 6-0.
Thank you, Mr. Administrator. Could I get a motion and a second, please, for item 6?
So move, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Moved by Mr. Ravenel, second by Mr. McAllister, that we pass item 6. All in favor of it, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Item 7, also a second reading, it is for the consideration of a request from Justin Albright to rezone property on Gardner Boulevard in Holly Hill, tax map number 0333-04-001 from Forest Agricultural District to Business Industrial District. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The Planning Commission met on July 9th to discuss the recommendation from Mr. Albright for Gardner Boulevard property. This request is from Forest and Agriculture to Business Industrial for the purpose of trucking and storage. The site is made up of one parcel calculated at 1.30 acres. Lot has access from Gardner Boulevard and does not fall within the floodplain. Adjacent property owners notified via U.S. mail from the Planning Commission about the meeting. They were given the opportunity to submit comments electronic, via email, or call directly via phone, or to submit in writing to the planning director, or attend the meeting in person. The notice with the information on how to submit comments was published in the TD. There were 0 citizens that expressed their support. There were 0 citizens that expressed opposition. Planning Commission presents this to you with a public hearing and discussion with a 6-0 approval.
Thank you so much, Mr. Administrator. Any questions from any council persons? If not, please give me a motion on the second reading passage of item 7.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved by Mr. McAllister and second by either Ms. Walker or Ms. Frazier that we pass item 7. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, motion is carried. Item number 8 is the first reading ordinance, and this is for, it says, it's an ordinance amending the Orangeburg Code of Ordinance, Chapter 6 of Building and Building Regulations, Article 4, technical codes, section 614, 614.1, and 614.2 to provide for the adoption of technical codes, building permit rates, demolition rates, house/building moving rates, and temporary signs and articles. Under Article 8, manufactured modular homes, section 6-94, prerequisite to licensing of manufacturing homes. This, Madam Attorney, this is yours.
Got it, but first you'll have to unlock your device.
Thank you.
Under state law, the state has a mechanism for which they update the various building codes, including gas, fuel, electric, etc. And it requires the counties that are going to enforce codes to use whatever codes that have been approved at the state level. And so this is a routine matter in which we're adopting revised codes. They're the same codes as in the international codes, but they've been revised over the last year or so.
Thank you so much. Council, you have any questions on that? Hearing none, could I get a motion second for first reading on this item?
So moved for first reading, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Garvin and second by Ms. Frazier for first reading on item 8. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much. Item number 9 is the Planning Commission resolution and ordinance first reading. And it is for the consideration of a request from KRM Land LLC to rezone property on 5 Chop Road in Santee, South Carolina, 29142. Tax map number 0308-00-06-003 from Commercial General District to Business Industrial District. Mr. Administrator, please give us the summary of what was said at the Planning Commission.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, the Planning Commission met on July 9th to discuss the recommendation and request from KRM Land LLC for the purpose of going from commercial general to business industrial for the purpose of a concrete batch plant. The site is made up for one parcel calculated at 5.70. The lot has primary access from 5 Chop Road. Secondary access is provided by Hawkins Street. The lot does not fall within the floodplain wetlands on the property. The adjacent property owners were notified via U.S. mail about the Planning Commission meeting. They were given the opportunity to submit comments electronically, via email, by phone, in writing, or to attend the meeting. Notice with the information was submitted and comments were published in the T&D accordingly. There were 0 citizens to express their support during the meeting. There were 5 citizens that expressed their opposition. Planning Commission, after public hearing discussion, made a motion and recommendation to County Council for an approval of 5-1 for this request.
Thank you, Mr. Administrator. Now, I know a lot of you are here tonight for this, item. Planning Commission have done their part on it. They went by the books. This is in District 1, District 2. And we have the planner here and anyone else if they need further explanation of this type of plant. We've heard comments on it. So, Council, Mr. Radner.
Chair, I'd like Mr. Preston to come forward and he's give us a synopsis of what he found.
Good evening, members of council. Thank y'all for having me up here. I'm Preston McClellan. I'm the Planning and Zoning Director for Orangeburg County. So Planning Commission met and had their public hearing for this item. This area is considered a part of the Global Logistics Triangle for Orangeburg County. This is a priority investment area for industrial users. You highlighted areas in the comprehensive future land use plan that are around the interstate for industrial users because that's easy on and off points. For industrial users, you have an exit that is right down the road. This is for a concrete batch plant, not a concrete making facility. There's a difference. Concrete batch plant is where they take the products and they mix it and they take it to a site and they would pour it on the site. So those are like your building pads and stuff. Items like this would help facilitate the construction of the new I-95 bridge. Traffic is a major problem in Orangeburg County. You have to have concrete to be able to build a bridge of that nature. There's a drive time from certain areas. It's not like you could get concrete from Charlotte to be able to come and pour at this location. Again, there's other industrial users that are trying to be built and brought online in Orangeburg County. This would help build the building pads for those users. So keep that in mind when you're making your request. We also have 2 members here from DES that have experience with the permitting process. They could talk about any health or environmental concerns regarding this concrete batch plant facility. If you have any specific questions for me, I'll try and answer those as well.
Do I have any questions for Preston or the experts on, I've heard about particulates and dust and all this, and this plant is different from a cement plant. So you need to really understand that what was said about it traveling in the air is not necessarily, that's not necessarily the facts. So let us know the facts.
Yes, sir. I would like to defer to DES for that, as they are the experts in that permitting matter.
Evening, members of the council. Thanks for having us out here. I'm Ray Holberger, Environmental Risk Specialist for South Carolina's Department of Environmental Services. Be happy to provide my contact information if anyone has any questions or concerns or comments they'd like to discuss. I'd like to begin my comments by saying that SCDES has no jurisdiction over the placement or zoning of any industrial facility. We are mandated by statute to approve any permit application that comes our way that meets our requirements. So we're here in a strictly advisory capacity tonight. And my colleague Madeline Florek can speak to the specifics of the permitting process. She's our air permitting section manager. I can speak more broadly about PM 2.5, that's particulate matter 2.5. These are very small particles that have the ability to be lodged in our lungs, and that's why we are so concerned about them. That said, this particulate material is basically everywhere in our atmosphere. They're particularly produced by wildfire smoke especially, but any kind of vehicle exhaust, any kind of brake wear or tire wear. So we're all exposed to these chemicals, these particulates, and there are a variety of different chemicals, pretty much all the time when we're outside, and they're even present in household dust as well. South Carolina DES does not regulate particulate matter that comes from tire wear or brake wear or exhaust or your household dust, but we do permit and model particulate material that comes from industrial sources according to our permitting process, which my colleague Ms. Florek can get into a little bit more. Our Clean Air Act has a very rigorous permitting process, and it is designed to ensure that no significant degradation to human health or the environment occurs beyond the fence line of any of our facilities. We permit to the fence line to protect all residents outside from in the ambient air and prevent any kind of degradation of our air quality writ large. On a personal note, I can relay that I actually live within a mile of a concrete batch plant on Taylor Street in Hardin, right in downtown Columbia. It actually happens to fall right in the middle of my bike ride to work. I biked past it 4 times today, right next to Benedict College there. And honestly, I've never considered its impact on air quality. I've considered the impact of vehicles on my air quality on my bike ride to work, but not this particular batch plant. This proposed batch plant here in Santee in Orangeburg County hasn't begun their permitting process yet, so we can't really speak to the specifics of what they've proposed. but if they are granted an approved permit, they will be regulated just like every other plant in South Carolina. So to that, I would be happy to address any questions and provide my contact information to the council or any members of the public. So if you'd like to hear specifics about our permitting process, Ms. Flora can speak to them. Thank you, council.
Well, I have two questions for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, the first question is, who are you being paid by during this process?
I get paid by the taxpayers of South Carolina. Thank you all.
And also, you spoke about the pollution with the vehicle. We all drive cars.
That's right. I try to ride my bike.
Okay, but okay, you ride your bike. But with us all driving cars, and you're saying the pollutants are minimum.
I'm not saying I'm not going to compare the magnitude of particulate matter that's produced by vehicles compared to a batch plant. I don't have that information.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so with you not comparing the two, but the chemicals are harmful with the vehicle. But if a plant is affixed to a certain location and continuously burning,
these plants are mixing. They're not burning.
Well, mixing, but there's still the chemical and there's still the release, correct?
The concern for release is when the dry materials are being delivered. When these plants essentially fill up concrete trucks. So they mix cement with different kinds of sand and gravel called aggregate and water, and then those fill up the cement trucks that you see all around.
But there's still the release.
There's a potential for release which is modeled and regulated by our air permitting section, which Madeline Florek here can tell you more about. Thank you, council.
Good evening. My name is Madeline Flory. Thank you for having us tonight. Like Ray said, I am the section manager in air permitting, and my section deals with concrete plants specifically. So the way that air permitting works for these concrete plants is we have a general permit that covers most, if not all, of the concrete plants in South Carolina. I brought a copy of that with me, and I can provide that to whoever wants one. And it outlines what the concrete plants are required to do in order to be in compliance with both state and federal regulations for these plants and for these particulate matter emissions. I will speak briefly on the other emissions that were brought up. Those numbers are in very small quantity. I know sulfur dioxide and nitrous oxide were mentioned. The only source of those types of emissions that we see usually at concrete plants are small generators that are for the most part used in emergency situations. Like Ray also mentioned, we have not received an application for this plant specifically, so I don't know what their plan is. But if they're using electricity, most of the time we see engines that are used in a backup capacity only. So those release of particulate matters are our biggest concern when we're quantifying the numbers. The only time we see large releases are when control devices have malfunctions. So the sites are required to mitigate these releases by operating their control devices and keeping up with maintenance and keeping logs of their maintenance, and in some cases different parameters are set and they have to stay within certain boundaries. They also are required to maintain records of the amount of concrete they're producing, and when there are issues that arise, we have regional offices with regional enforcement inspectors that come out. And so if there were a large release of particulate matter that somebody was able to see at their residence, we would have an inspector out there within a day or two at the most. We take those releases very seriously, and we like to see action for this was the problem that happened, why it happened, what we're doing to fix it. So they are regulated to less than a certain opacity amount.
And like I said, I have a copy of that permit with me that they might fall under, that outlines the the requirements in more detail. If you all have any questions, I can look in there and let you know what the requirements are.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question, Louis. One of the family owners, I think, mentioned something about, he mentioned that Santee should qualify for air. It wasn't quality, but something he used concerning the air. If this doesn't present a problem as far as the quality of air, why should Santee qualify for it?
I'm unsure what the question is.
What is the question? What is the question, Ms. Smith? I don't understand what you're saying.
The young man who is one of the family owners, I think it was him who said he should qualify for air something. I don't remember the term he used after it. But if this does not present a problem with air, why should Santee qualify as far as air quality is concerned?
Right, so I think what you're asking is if they're not harmful to the air, why do they need a permit? Is that correct?
That's probably what it was.
Okay.
I think it was along that line.
Right.
It had to do with the quality of air. And I want to know if it's not a quality, if it doesn't present a quality of air, why do you need a permit?
So the way that it works is the National Environmental Pollution Agency, EPA, they set national air ambient quality standards, and we regulate based on those. So there's certain thresholds to our permitting process, and if you're below those numbers and you aren't making an impact on the national ambient air quality standards, then they have to take these certain steps in the permit to be in compliance. So the way that we also do that is we do something called air dispersion modeling, and this shows the impact on those national ambient air quality standards that are set by the federal government. And that is something that we would require for this site to do, and it takes into account the weather and the airflow and the property boundaries and those different parameters, and shows what that impact to the ambient air quality in that area is. So the purpose of the permit is not giving them the right to operate, it's giving them the framework for how to comply with the standards that we set forth. So they have to operate their control devices properly, and they have to record certain information. They have to report certain information to us, things like that.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. And like Ray, I will give out my business card to anybody who has further questions, or wants to get in contact with me, wants a copy of our general permit via email. I can provide that as well.
Thank you. Any other comments from council or anyone? Well, we are here and I'm required to call for the first reading on this. Call for the first reading on it. As council, I've already read it. We have the comment. Go ahead. Go ahead. You want to say something? Mr. Ramnell, this is your district, so.
I was gonna say to the fact that, I had the opportunity to visit the plant in Sumter. A lot of people look at this plant as being the traditional cement plant, like we have on Highway 6, between Santee and Ellery. And I was under the same thought pattern prior to visiting the site. And it's totally different. I was surprised when I got there what I saw. Okay, let's put it that way. And you may look at I don't see really no environmental impact that I can see. I'm not an expert, but I mean, everything is vacuum. The chute came down into the truck and whatever. You didn't see no fog or nothing displayed. That's what I'm looking for. And only thing I can say is I know what I saw. And being my district, I would recommend that we approve this resolution.
So you've heard of everything, so all in favor of it, let me know by saying aye. Okay, excuse me, I apologize. Can I get a second? Second by Ms. Frazier. Motion by Mr. Ravenel and second by Ms. Frazier. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Next item is a resolution, item 10. It's a resolution authorizing the enlargement of the joint county industrial park between Dorchester County and Orangeburg County to accommodate R.W. Ashley Phosphate Owner LLC, tax map number 181-00-00-133 and other matters related thereto. The attorney, you want to talk about industrial park, I guess, joint, for the public who don't understand what that's all about, please.
Thank you, Chairman. There's an industrial project that is located in Dorchester County. It's a R.W. Ashley Phosphate Owner LLC. The state allows certain businesses to be considered to be in a multi-county industrial park if two counties have an agreement to have a multi-county industrial park. Orangeburg does have one with Dorchester County. This is not a physical park. It's just a listing of properties. And so this would be a property from Dorchester County that would be in the multi-county park and under the normal conditions of multi-county parks. That means Dorchester gets 99% of the proceeds from the park, and the partner county, which is Orangeburg, gets 1%. These are done every day all across the state.
Thank you very much, Madam Attorney. If there's no questions from council, could I get a motion and second to pass item 10, please?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Mr. McAllister, second by Ms. Frazier, that we pass the resolution with the joint county industrial park, as explained by the attorney. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Item number 11 is a resolution authorizing Orangeburg County to participate in the Purdue/Sackler opioid settlement and bankruptcy plan. And I'll yield to the attorney to explain.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Orangeburg County is one of the many governmental units that is involved in the opioid litigation. And when we say the opioid litigation, there are several different cases, but they're against different entities, whether they were manufacturers, pharmacies, etc. We have already entered into settlements with other defendants. At this time, we have Opioid Settlement Council is recommending that we participate in the Purdue-Sackler settlement and bankruptcy plans. And anybody who's been listening to the news lately kind of knows about Purdue-Sackler, but they've apparently finally come to terms with participating in the settlement. And so this would be having council authorize the county to go ahead and join in the settlement.
Thank you so much, Madam Attorney. Any questions from council? Yes, sir.
Is this the first opium settlement? I thought we had another settlement out as well, too.
I believe this is the third one.
That's correct.
And other materialized or still out pending?
They have.
Yeah, there are at least, the other two are being managed by Todd Williams in risk management, because there's certain rules about what you can use the money for once you have access to it. And so that's being dealt with through the administrative chain of command up to the administrator.
Any other questions?
Madam Attorney, yes. Madam Attorney, what will, Orangeburg County use the money for?
It's supposed to be used to get rid of the ills of opioid use. And what fits into that, I can't really tell you, but Todd could tell you.
Madam Attorney, it's mostly for opioid prevention, so it deals with a lot of stuff that, situations like drug rehab, drug prevention, Narcan classes, which we just held last week, and things of that nature to help prevent people from overdosing, and put parameters in place like a process that we're working on now through EMS to provide a rapid response unit to be able to handle and get Narcan to individuals who have dealt with opioid overdoses.
So places like the McCord Abuse Center would benefit from this?
Yes, ma'am.
From the money?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to know about how much money we're talking about.
On this, we won't know until we get the settlement, but the first two, that project yielded, I think it was $350-something thousand. I can get the exact figure for you and send it to everyone on council.
Any other questions? All right, could I get a motion? Second to pass this resolution, item 11.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Mr. McAllister, second by Ms. Frazier, that we pass the resolution to allow that to be a part of it. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Next item is procurement, and we have 5 items on procurement, and we're gonna take them one at a time, and then we'll ask the administrator to summarize them as we go through them. The first one is fiscal year 25-07, 02, Orangeburg County Domestic Violence Shelter Generator installed.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. A request for proposal from Orangeburg County Domestic Violence Shelter to install a generator was requested. Proposals were advertised at Orangeburg County website and BidNet. Proposals were due on July 2nd, 2025. The county received 2 proposals. After local state MBA preferences were given, Calico Jace Fence is deemed the responsible bidder for the Generator Service Inc. Corporation, and the award is in the amount of $240,398.41.
Thank you so much, Mr. Administrator. Any questions from council about this item? We had two bidders.
Yes, sir.
This lower bidder is about, one of them is about almost 200,000 different. Can I get a motion in a second?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Garvin, second by Mr. McAllister, that we pass first bid as recommended by the staff and the administrator. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Second one is fiscal year 26-07-24, Department of Public Health Facility Renovation Project. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The request for proposals for the renovation to the Department of Public Health Facility project was requested and advertised in the county's website, bidnet.com. Proposals were due on July 29, 2025. The county received 7 proposals as listed below. The local, state, MBA preferences were given and deemed responsible after recommendations from the facility management and director. We're presenting to you the bid of Spring Hill Construction in the amount of $2,603,745.00.
Thank you so much. Any questions on this one from council? If not, a motion is second to accept.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just for the public to know, I know that was the bid, but there would probably been a second bidder. At least a true bid comparison analysis.
7 of them on this one.
We're at 7.
7 on this one.
Just the top 2. That we
Oh, the top 2, what the prices of the top 2, the next one under that one was $2,607,000. One under that was $2,692,000. And the last highest one was 3,768,000. Get a motion and second, accept.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Ravenel and second by Ms. Frazier, that we accept the lowest bid as explained by the administrator. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. The next one is a sole source justification for the landfill transfer station repairs. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We're requesting a sole source justification for the landfill transfer repairs. We have a situation where we have a retaining wall that is in potential to collapse. So we had to, under the emergency situation, contact the developer and the engineer to look at the situation. Leakin Associates is a firm that had already done the study on the landfill for us, and they have been approved by DHEC. So after, in this scenario, a competitive solicitation is not feasible because this vendor specializes in the aspect of landfill management and has been recommended to us to solve the problem immediately by DHEC. We're in the process of dealing with that and trying to make this repair in emergency purposes, and so this service repair has an estimated cost of $972,000, and we're requesting this to be a sole source procurement.
Thank you so much, Mr. Administrator. Any questions? I get a motion and a second to pass this sole source.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
I get a second.
Second.
Moved by Mr. McAllister, second by Ms. Frazier, that we accept the sole source justification that was explained by the administrator on the transfer station. All in favor of it, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Next, procurement is Orangeburg County contractor selection for the Unity Road project, Mr. Administrator.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Last year, the county published a request for proposals for Unity Road Community Center upfit project. We received 5 proposals. The project was put out for bid and awarded a year ago. However, the company that was the low bid, WB Brawley Company, was not able to satisfy the contract and ultimately declined to execute the contract on the project. After the protocol that was deemed necessary to go to the next satisfactory bidder, Chambers and Associate was also deemed not responsible because of a experience of overdue process that they did on one of the facilities that they were working on. In result, the next lowest bidder is Skip Welch Construction, and under those circumstances, after we looked at it and recommended it through legal and through the aspect of the facilities management, we're recommending Skip Welch in the amount of $1,423,828.
Thank you so much, Mr. Administrator. There's no question. Could I get a motion second for passage on that?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Garvin, second by Mr. McAllister, that we pass the Unity Road project as explained by the administrator. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. And the last procurement is an emergency procurement purchase of a new ambulance. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The EMS department experienced a sudden and urgent need for an additional ambulance due to an unexpected mechanical issue. The absence of a fully directed ambulance impacts the public health and safety, so therefore we're recommending a process in which we procure a new ambulance. We were able to have a new ambulance that has been presented to us by Spartan Fire and Emergency Apparatus. That was a demo unit that is already prepared and DHEC certified. The wait time on other ambulances is a little bit over a year. We're able to purchase this one right away in the amount of $247,931.
Thank you, sir. Questions? Motion is second to accept the explanation on items E.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Frazier, second by Mr. Ravenel, and we accept the explanation on item E on the ambulance by the administrator. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Next item on the agenda is an update from the Public Works Committee, and I yield to the chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna yield to our attorney.
This is something we discussed during the public hearing on the same item, which was the first item on the agenda. And that is simply that we are studying the waste tire situation, and at this time, council wants to move forward with stopping the acceptance of waste tires at the convenience sites, making all waste tires be presented at the landfill. And then we're also going to look into what we've done about tire retailers, finding an alternate place for them to bring their tires.
Thank you so much, Madam Attorney. All right, the next item on the agenda is a vote for executive session, and this is for economic development, which is allowed under the South Carolina Code 30-4-70, discussion of matters relating to the proposed location, expansion, or the provision of services encouraging the location of or expansion of industries or other business in the area served by the public body. This is a discussion of a project at this time, codenamed Project Edisto, and we will be getting an update from the Economic Development team on this item. And there's no vote on this, so once we vote for adjournment, we will have a 6 or 7 minute before we convene back into to get the public to get out, then we will convene into the executive session. So at this time, could I get a motion and a second to go into executive session?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So moved to go to executive session.
Moved by Mr. Garvin, and second by Ms. Frazier, that we go into executive session for that what I just described. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Before we vote for adjournment, is there any comment from any council person or staff?
Yes, yes, sir. I would like to acknowledge, Councilwoman Little. She had to step out for a minute, but Councilwoman Little actually led the charge, in the state through Richland County with the establishing the first hate crime ordinance. And she was so willing, to share the information with us because so often we reinvent the wheel and when you don't have to. So she shared her documentation with us and we were able to get our ordinance drafted via Richland County. Also like to thank Senator Tamika Devine for her presence today. It's an honor to have you and we're so grateful that you drove to share this moment with us. Also the Williams family, your words meant everything. You know, as you said, it's for everyone. I'm so sorry that you had to endure that moment, but you became trailblazers and a voice for many. Mr. Ford, he's always advocating, always at the State House, helping establish legislature, and he keeps boots on the ground all the time. There's Councilwoman Little, but just want to thank you all for coming today, and for the individuals in Santee. You may have not gotten what you want, but come back and join us because I'm sure you learned a lot in the meeting and how things are run and what's taken into consideration when decisions are made. So come back and join us, and all of you come back and join us.
Thank you, Ms. Walker, and we certainly would like to recognize any council people from Santee or any officials from Santee. All of you are recognized, but anybody who hold elected offices, we would certainly want to make sure that you are recognized.
I overlook Councilwoman from Calhoun County, Councilwoman Bennett. And she traveled from work to be here and kept texting in our group chat telling us she was running 20 minutes late, 30 minutes late. But we thank you so much for making it here to be with us on this moment today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I would just like to take the opportunity to say welcome to all the incoming freshmen and the students at South Carolina State, OC Tech, and Claflin Universities. Orangeburg County is definitely a college town, and we look forward to being the home for these young people for the next 4 years as they travel their journey to get their education and embark on the community. And hopefully they may one day see fit to come and work for Orangeburg County or do things productive in our community. Thank you.
We have an ex-school board member sitting in our presence, please.
Stand up, stand up.
That's right, stand up. Brown, right? Reverend Brown, right?
Reverend
Yes.
Brown, yep.
Yes. And I'd like to drop a little tidbit on myself. Today I had the opportunity to ring the cancer bell. And we had more than 40 people in attendance at this occasion today. I try to make it big time. And I rang the bell today, and I've already did the ringing of the bell down in Charleston because I was in both places, Charleston and Orangeburg. Here I am at a meeting for a change.
I just want to say, I'm glad my Santee family's here. Even though they may not have got everything that they wanted. But I love y'all too. Mr. Williams, you see this red jacket right here? Me and your father, we done traveled halfway around the states together as Shriners. He's a good friend of mine. Thank you.
And Mary Hill, thanks for coming.
All right, having his all hearts, like the old saying in the church, if all hearts are clear and everything, let the church say amen. Amen. I get a motion in a second for adjournment.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Moved by Ms. Frazier, and second by Mr. McAllister, that we adjourn. Thank you all again for attending our meeting.